Hello, everybody. Welcome to Duo Planet, the YouTube channel where we talk all things media, and to a very, very special uh, reaction review of The Bad Batch, the final episode of The Bad Batch ever. This is episodes 14 and 15. The penultimate episode and the finale, which was indeed not 25 minutes long and was indeed 51 minutes long. I've been joined, as always, by my fellow co-host, Jordan, aka Slasher.
Everybody,
And yeah, it has been one hell of a ride to arrive at this
yeah, we
this
didn't record
juncture.
last week or anything, so we did last week's episode today. So
We had a lot of stuff happen in the finale itself, but also in episode 14. We had Hemlock realizing that the Bad Batch were coming to Tantus. We had the Bad Batch surviving in the jungle. Echo getting a new hand, which was funny. We also had Rampart being a cunt, as always. And the return of the Zillo Beast, which was a very surprising thing in episode 14, was that the Zillo Beast is on Tantus and is indeed being experimented on. Probably to figure out its armor, but they're not going to get much of a chance to do that anymore. We also get some interesting development on Emery's front, because Emery decides to help
even
Echo.
though we spent like the entire time thinking she was going to betray them,
I genuinely did believe that she was going to betray them.
I'm glad she
So,
didn't, but still.
episode 14 didn't really have much in the way of story pushing forward. We had the Zillo Beast, we had Emery and Echo finding each other and deciding to help each other. We had the Bad Batch in the jungle, but other than that, there wasn't really that much. However, where we do get a lot is episode 15, the finale, which was a staggering 51 minutes. In episode 14, Wrecker gets injured, and that is a big part of this episode, is Wrecker's injuries. Of course, I'll be honest with you, out of all of them, I expected Wrecker to die.
We
They teased
expected
it quite
someone to.
heavily.
We expected someone to die.
Yeah, so Rampart gets caught by the Empire and is basically taunted by Hemlock. The kids make their play to escape. Omega reprograms a droid, and they knock out the bitchy science woman, not Emery. Emery takes Echo towards the vault, obviously to find that the kids have already escaped. Omega sets the Zillo Beast free. Shit goes to hell. Because I'll be honest with you, the incompetence of these troopers is astounding. Because they've seen it deflect blaster bolts and just like not care, and bam, they're still shooting at it. So the Zillo Beast is on the loose. Emery gets threatened by Hemlock, saying that her fate is now tied to Omega's. The Bad Batch finally arrive at Tantis, at the mountain, in time to see the Zillo Beast actually break out and escape into the jungle, which is probably an issue for a later date. But Hemlock releases his, what I'm going to just call the clone assassins. Quite a few different types of them. One of the coolest ones being one that has a sword that acts suspiciously like a lightsaber and cuts through metal very, very easily. They have a little fight with the Bad Batch. The Bad Batch get captured, and in a very shocking twist, Crosshair loses his hand. And not just his hand, but his shooting hand, the hand he uses to stabilize his rifle. which is a big deal for him. Echo, Emery find the kids. They decide, well, Omega and Echo decide they're staying. They're going to go save the Bad Batch and all the other clones. So Emery takes the kids. A point me and Jordan were vehemently against because we were like, she's going to betray them. She doesn't. Shit breaks loose. They free the clones. Rampart, being an absolute twat, follows Nala Se, who is still alive, towards the genetic processing plant. And they have a little brief discussion. Rampart shoots Nala Se, but Nala Se activated a thermal detonator and blows the entire room up. All the while, Hemlock has been threatened by Governor Tarkin that he's on his way. Shit continues to get further. Hemlock ties himself to Omega. They go to a landing pad, but we know the Bad Batch ain't going to allow that. They're not about to let this happen. So Hunter and Crosshair pursue, while Wrecker and Echo and another clone fight the clone assassins. Pretty tense. Crosshair's got to make a very difficult shot, but they managed to do it. They put down Commander Scorch, the clone commander that has been a dick throughout the entire season, and they managed to also put down Hemlock. So Hemlock is officially dead.
Yes!
He isn't surviving that. And as we come to a close, Tarkin arrives on Tantis to see the damage and declares that the funding that was going to Tantis and Project Necromancer is being redistributed to Project Stardust, or, as we all come to learn and love from the original trilogy, the Death Star, which will prove to be a very interesting thing. But that's not all. We arrived back on Pabu, and it only took me 3 seasons and 15 episodes to realize that it's called Pabu. Emery decides to go to Pantora with Echo and the other clones to basically help Senator Chuchi fuck with the Empire. We get a nice heartwarming scene between Hunter and Omega, who are sat by the tree. As the clones leave, we get a nice fading to black shot of all of them sat together with Batcher. And to our surprise, we fade back in to Tantus at night. We see a mysterious figure with blonde hair walking towards a cave, turns the light on, and Omega has officially grown up. She is now a fully fledged woman, and sitting on a rock near the ship is an aged Hunter who is very grizzled, very grey, very Jedi, as I pointed out, with the way that he's just standing. Omega has decided that she's going to join the rebellion, so that means that this is original trilogy territory.
Yeah, which means obviously the Batch, their time is over. Their fight is done, but hers isn't.
And yeah, so we end on a very touching note where Omega goes aboard the ship, and on the dashboard of the ship is Tech's goggles, still cracked. Tech was not the assassin, which I think is a missed opportunity, because I think that would have been very, very cool. But yeah, we end on a very somber note as Omega ship flies off into the distance, and we come to a close on. God, hang on. When did the Clone Wars come out? Let's see, Clone Wars TV show release date. 2008. So nearly 20 years, 16 years of the not the Bad Batch, but Clone War era era stuff. Yeah. So what did you think, Jordan?
I'm. It was weird to say that the Clone Wars era has ended. Um, but all good things must come to an end. I'm definitely like in awe of that fucking final because that ending was definitely perfect for what the show was. Them getting to grow old, to them raising Omega, and now she's off to fight her own fight, knowing the Hunter and all that. Their fight is over, but hers isn't. Her fight is never over.
Yeah, I can't wait for the spin-off.
I'm hoping that's what they were hinting at.
Can't wait for the spin-off Star Wars Omega.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping that that's where it's gonna go. I'm kind of hoping that's like if we get an Omega spin-off of her fighting with the rebels and stuff like that. Never know. Maybe she. We know the tech. Not tech. We know the we know Echo's still out there. He's still working with um you know Rex and that, so we know what he's doing. Um, but yeah, maybe she joins them. Maybe she goes off to do her own thing. You never know. She could have actually crossed paths with Luke. Could have crossed paths with Ahsoka. Basically with anybody.
Uh,
Never know.
the like rate is endless, really.
But yeah, and I'm hoping that we do see her. I'm hoping like if we did get a show, I'm hoping if like she did get her own show, the ending of it should be during the final battle of the original trilogy and show us where she was during it and what
Yeah,
happened to her afterwards. Like, where did she go after that? Like, did the Empire ever stop hunting her?
I mean
We
they
know
did
for
because they didn't have the Tantis data,
we
so they
definitely
stopped
know
hunting the kid.
that we definitely know that the Emperor didn't stop Project Necromancer. We know for a fact that he still gets that power, but from Grogu. This
Perhaps
is
from Grogu. I
perhaps
would
we,
probably call it more Moff Gideon at this rate.
yeah, but we don't know where things will go. But that's all I've got to say. Go on, Will. Oh wait, my rating. I'm gonna go with for the episode. For the two episodes. So uh, the episode before the final, I want to give it probably be a 6.10. It was just a little bit of a filler.
6.10 is a 7.
Okay, a 7 then.
6.10 is a 7. 6.1 would be a thing. 6.10 is a 7.
Okay, a 7. Fuck it. Uh, and then the final, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Or a 10 out of 10, actually. Either one. I could go either way. Um, and for the entire season, it was rocky. But for the entire season, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Go on, Will, your thoughts and your ratings.
What about the series as a whole?
I just said that.
You said season.
Our series as a whole, like the entire show, 10
Like
out
the
of 10.
entire show. Okay. Uh, I think that the music and the scene setting was very well done. They managed to create tension through music and through a lack of music, but they also managed to make scenes tense by adding obstacles in the way, like the rain in the scene where Crosshair's got to make the shot to free Omega. D. Bradley Baker, as always, nailing all performances, and he has a lot in this series. Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Jordan said about Omega and her journey and where she's going to go in the future. And yeah, I would say that episode 14 I would probably give a 6, and episode 15 a 9.8 out of 10. If Vader had have shown up, I'd have given it a 10 out of 10, but for some reason they just didn't want to bring Vader into it, which makes me a little bit sad. For the season, for season 3 as a whole, I'm going to give it an 8. And then for a series score, I give it a 9.7 out of 10. So it's a very, very good series. A very, very good successor to Clone Wars and Rebels. Very nice way to end out the entire arc of the clone era of Star Wars, and a very nice connection between Clone Wars and the Imperial rule, because now we can go directly from the Bad Batch into the earliest Imperial show, which is Rebels, I think.
Yeah.
So very, very nice. Overall, yeah, massive well done to everyone involved with the Bad Batch. Animation team on point, musical and score team on point, acting on point, unless you're the actor of Facade, in which case you're a scumbag, because that character is an absolute scumbag. Yeah, very, very well done. Anything else, Jordan?
No, I've got nothing else, and for the final time, it's an end of an era, and for the final time, I will say, whenever have we followed orders?
Very true. As always, I've been one of your hosts, Azteral.
I have been your host, Slasher.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the garbage YouTube asks you to do. We won't see you next time because there's not going to be another.
We will probably have.
We will see you in the future for Tales of the Empire, which releases Saturday, May the 4th.
Well, if we watch that Saturday and record a review, I can have that up on Wednesday.
There we have it. So yeah. We will see you in whatever video is next. Until then, may the force be with you always. Bye for now. May the force
be with you always. Bye for now.
Forget 1,000 things every day, pal. Make sure this is one of them.
It's over, Anakin!